Let's move on to Damba, one of my favorites. Wakono's Wrath, getting a major buff here. Actually, doubling in terms of almost snake toss speed. The effect, super cool. I mean, the payoff is huge.
You're going to be able to hit these a lot more frequently,
yeah.
And it's going to be a little bit easier to aim. You'll also be able to hit players at further ranges.
But this is the big change for him. Yes. So this talent is completely changing. For the support mains crying out, this is your patch. You're getting a lot of fun things for your
Hello Paladins and welcome to 1.4, where Damba still sucks, but he sucks a little bit less. In a world where everybody and their grandpas is out to get you, this buff to Wakono's Wrath has given Damba the power to defend himself. The power to slap people silly with a longer and stronger danga. A bit of justification for his previous 450 HP nerf. But what exactly is the touch of death, you ask?
You can't escape! You can't escape! You can't! You don't show that Destruction!
That is going to be exciting to see.
Once you acquire Deft Hands 2, you are basically Oprah, except instead of handing out vehicles, you hand out deadly spirit serpents that strike with the force of a rocket-propelled grenade. All it takes is one connection. Just one hit. Just one. Come on. And it's over. If you thought Damba was hard, well, prepare to get harder. This projectile speed buff is so big in fact, that it is worth picking Wakono's Wrath over Spirits Chosen in almost all instances, if you have the skill to pull it off, even as your team's main support. This is because Damba's base healing is already very good without any talents involved. Similar to how it's often best to run Luminary on Genis over his healing talent Celestial Touch, due to the offensive boost being so powerful. However, unlike with Luminary, which gives a passive benefit to your allies, your destiny with Wakono's Wrath is determined by your own skill to make the most out of the offensive capabilities it grants you. By giving up a little bit of extra healing, you increase your ability to support your team with more frequent and reliable crowd control, better anti-flank defense, and more threatening suppressing fire. For those up to the challenge, you'll find that Damba is now one of the most enjoyable and APM intensive characters to play. Players with good aim, game sense, and multitasking skills will be able to take Damba to an entirely different level. In this guide, I'm going to assume you already know the basics of Damba and jump right into the build along with some tips and tricks. The rest of it will probably just be a bunch of bad memes.
Something wicked.
This build is what I use as a main support, emphasizing healing output with eerie presence and mobility as a form of defense. Buying Kronos at the start, then rushing Deft Hands 2. Later picking up more Kronos for more healing or going into defensive items. Delaying the rush of Deft Hands 2 like this can lull your opponents into thinking you aren't a threat and mistakenly buy blue items that aren't resilience. More importantly, it can help convince your teammates to not tilt off the face of the earth, which may be the biggest issue you will face. For dual support, I'll often use this build, which comes online faster, since I'll start off rushing Deft Hands 2 and then build into Nimble. Depending on your performance, you can acquire the Touch of Death this way by the end of the first round. Movement speed is extremely useful for supports, especially ones who depend on line of sight to heal, allowing you to get in position to heal your allies faster, along with other benefits like helping you get around the map and dodging enemy fire. After all, nobody gets healed from a dead support. Lastly, this is something you can use if you intend to play him as a damage or flank substitute, or if you have never missed a hit-scan shot in your entire life. It's not quite as effective playing him purely as an offensive character like this, since he lacks the consistent DPS and survivability options to do so, but sometimes you just want to watch the world burn. Wakono's Wrath works easiest in single tank camps, or double tank camps where your tanks have a bit of self-sustain, such as Beric, Khan, and Torvald, or when you have another offensive support who can distribute slight healing you aren't able to cover. Turtle Tank is also a good ally, since your stuns guarantee hooks and vice versa. Bad enemies to go against include Totemic Ward Grog. Seriously, fuck that guy. Good maps to play Wakono's Wrath on are usually small to medium-sized maps with good cover and areas that force players together. Places such as Jaguar Falls, Bright Marsh, Serpent Beach, and Ice Mines. Harder maps to play are ones with very long open areas, where it can be difficult to hit snakes. such as Ascension Peak, Timber Mill, and Fish Market. However, these are just general guidelines. In the end, it all comes down to team play and your own skill.
Don't be salty.
First, I highly recommend you rebind your reload key to something you can press easily without taking your fingers off WASD. You're going to be spamming this more than a feels bad man in Twitch chat when next patch rolls around, and you realize that Sky will never get a buff again. As with all projectiles, landing them is a matter of leading your shots. You must aim where you think your target will be, not where they currently are. Before deft hands 2, you'll need to use normal attacks after landing a stun. Otherwise you will just sit there with your snake out, looking like a complete clown. This build naturally allows you to charge your ultimate faster. Not only that, but you can capitalize on it by yourself. A snake spit followed by a snake toss leads to a guaranteed kill on anyone without high levels of resilience. And it's perfectly okay to just toss it out there if you can take out a key target. In between snakes, you should always be looking for allies to heal.
I need to keep these fools alive.
A large part of your success with this playstyle hinges on how well you can balance aggression with providing heals to the right people as often as possible. Finding positions where you can do both, while staying relatively safe from harm, is a skill that you must unlock at the 99th level of the next battle pass. That's all for the guide. Now here's 6 minutes of touching people inappropriately with your snake.
You challenge my power?
If you feel something move, it's probably just my snake.
Guys with Kono's curse, I'll lose him. Like, how is Bear getting fucking 100 to 0? This game's fucking garbage.
I don't think you have any idea how fast I really am.
Forget you saw that. Inevitable.
今こそ。
Look at me, John. Look at me. I'm the sniper. No.
It's more potent, so now you can, you know, abuse it.
Please, no! 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 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Overtime!
Wow, that was a lot of crap. If you found this guide helpful, consider subscribing and passing it along to your friends, because every view helps feed a starving child in Africa. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all touch someone in your lives today.